Good evening, everybody. It's John from Veganism KILLS. It's 5:45 p.m. Friday, December 3rd. Today it looks like I got to go through a few things because a lot of people don't have the ability to understand what I'm talking about. And actually, the words that are in my video on August 13th, if they're in doubt, they're not my words. I'm just repeating point for point what these people from Live Kindly are telling you about the company they're involved with and who sponsors them, plans to do. And regardless of that, the endeavor is failing, and I could show you why. So let's start. This guy right here, Jody Roush family. They run the Roush Family Foundation, which basically sponsors nutritionfacts.org, Dr. Greger. Now, as of last year, or actually a couple of months ago, I should say, is Lisa Ferrier from Stray Dog Capital launched a program to bring all of these like-minded individuals who think that these vegan proteins can take over 20% of the meat market. A lot of people said Bill Gates says he's going to take over the market and he's going to use bioterrorism. Well, Bill Gates has tried that in India, and now if he touches foot in India, he's going to be arrested on the spot. So Bill Gates is not infallible. I don't care if he goes to the World Economic Forum or not. Right? And there's a reason for that. If you're trying to sell something or push something and get financial backing or financial backing yourself, and it's failing, sooner or later you're going to have to turn off the cash spigot or you're going to put yourself in a hole. It's that simple. And I'll even explain that to you. Now again, this is Jody Roush. He sponsors Dr. Greger. He's part of the Vegan Mafia. Meet the Vegan Mafia from Live Kindly. Now, who backs these characters and Blue Horizon Venture? He's now involved with Blue Horizon through Stray Dog Capital. They combine their efforts to try to get control of 20% of the protein market and to remove animals from the food chain, but they're failing miserably. Now, the backers of Blue Horizon are Scorpus Trust out of Cyprus. Now, Scorpus Trust, what are they? They're backers of the pharmaceutical industry, cash people, pharmaceutical preparations, you see, biotechnology and life sciences. That's what they do. So what we got here is these pharmaceutical companies and their investors are basically trying to muscle their way and lie their way into the protein market using their lab-made frankenfood. Now, why I say they're going to fail is a couple of reasons. When you have a company bring in a fake doctor and use him as an advisor, it's not an asset to your company, it's a liability. And they brought in this stooge, this idiot. The person that brought him in was Earthling Ed, and Earthling Ed is connected to Blue Horizon Ventures. And a matter of fact, his boss is right here. Ed is now been transferred to the United States and living in the United States because they can't sell their hockey pucks over here in the United States. Because why? Shares in Bill Gates' fake meat company tank as consumers reject bioengineered food. So now they have to fly Jesus in to convince all of us to eat the hockey pucks. Beyond Meat stock plunges as Americans reject frankenfood burgers. So they sent their saintly Ed to come in here and part the water so the burgers can get through. The vegan fake burgers. Now back to these guys. You got Dr. Greger. This is his patron. who gives him $200,000 a year to help him run nutritionfacts.org. Nutritionfacts.org gets donations from Adam and Edie Schiff, congressman, who's also vegan. Okay, there goes your government connection there. These people are weasels. And that pencil neck weasel, he's in there for a purpose. He's in there to do the bidding of these large corporations. You got Ryan Bethencourt, if you don't know who he is, he's a bioscience scientist, and he's also an investor. He owns his own company. He's involved with these people. He's directly financially connected to them. So is Dr. Gregor. Matteo, he used to be a Rothschild banker for at least 7 years. And in the banking industry where I came from, once a Rothschild banker, always a Rothschild banker. You'll also see Brendan Brazier, executive producer of Game Changers, which Ed spread the propaganda. This was Ed's maiden propaganda, was actually created from Blue Horizon Ventures, sponsored by their parent company, Scorpus Trust. Really nice name. Scorpions, they will sting you with their tail. So there goes your financial connection of the pharmaceutical companies into veganism, trying to mainline veganism for one purpose. To turn these investments into a gold mine. That's one. By taking over around 20% of the protein market. By getting people to eat the kibble they made and Bill Gates sponsored labs. Now that you know the organization, how it's set up and how it works, they did a pretty good job. They are organized well. They had propaganda. They have spokesmen, paid spokesmen, very well paid spokesmen. Their movies they constantly sponsor and put out, like Game Changers. There's others. Seaspiracy, Cowspiracy. All those are paid for by these clowns. Also connected to this group is Plant-Based News. And Klaus, whose father is a Saudi prince. But, that's more big money right there. This is all a big money scheme. Now I'm going to tell you why it's failing. And it's very easy to see why it's failing. Because, number one, nobody wants to eat it. There's no consumer demand for this product. And if a product doesn't have a demand, there's no reason to create it. So that's going to dash their hopes of domination of 20% of the food market right down the toilet. No matter how much money they pay Ed to go jump up and down and cry about the animals, people still aren't going to eat the shit. Hell, even vegans don't want to eat this. And, of course, Beyond Meat stock plunges as Americans reject Frankenfood burgers. I really don't want Ed in this country at all, but he's moved there. He's announced that he's going to live in the United States. And if he goes around stealing people's livestock in the United States, Ed, you think Joey Carbstrong is going to climb the fence and go on some farmer's property in the Midwest? They're going to shoot him like they would shoot a wild feral pig. And you know what's going to happen? Absolutely nothing to that farmer. Get it straight through your head, you vegans out there, you activists. You're going to come around here and start doing activism and start trespassing on farmers' property. These people are armed. And the local sheriff, don't give a shit what you think about guns or gun rights and this shit. If you go on somebody's property without their permission and they shoot and kill you, the only problem is cleaning up the mess for the sheriff. So, you vegan activists, you young people, do not get involved in this foolishness. These people don't care if you get killed. As long as their stock goes up, they don't give a shit. Stop the childish tantrums. If you want to eat grass all your life, go right ahead. But trying to force other people to adopt your lifestyle, well, I'm sorry. You're not doing it. And forcing people or scheming to force people, that's going to have some very bad repercussions. Excuse me. I had a vegan V moment there. Now, here's how you could see they're failing. Look at the price, December 4th, right? 140. Was at one time 221. Has been going down for a whole year. You'll see a spike here and there, but now we're at 64.61. Here goes the vegan ETF. It peaked out. It's going to go down. This vegan ETF was made for one thing, and one thing only, to pump up the price of these vegan stocks, because nobody was buying them. Nobody has any interest in them. And they just probably ran out of money to purchase the stock to drive the price up. ETFs being formed to buy certain stocks to drive up the price is nothing new. Now, the main culprit for Beyond Meat's demise is because after they pay out their expenditures from their net income, they're negative. Which means at the current rate, if this keeps happening, the company's going to go belly up. And these fake activists who've been sent out to lie to people that eating vegan food is going to save the world, they're just fooling you. They're flat out lying to you. They make up figures. Ed doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He says most of the grain grown goes to feed animals. No, it doesn't. Actually, most of the grain grown goes to make alcohol, about 33%. Maybe about 5% of what animals eat is human edible grain. The rest of it is all the leftovers from the plant that we can't eat. That's what the animals survive on. So that's another hoax. That's a lie. They lie to you. And I don't know, maybe Bill Gates wants to keep throwing in more money into this pit. It'll just disappear. Hopefully he'll end up broke and have to get a job like the rest of us. That would be poetic justice, wouldn't it? And then maybe he couldn't afford meat. That'd be funny as hell. But nobody's going to eat it, no matter if Ed's up there juggling balls and spinning plates on freaking TED Talks in the United States, going college to college is his plan. Nobody's going to eat this shit. College kids don't pay for their own meals, if you haven't noticed. Their parents do. And their parents aren't going to eat this shit because they already rejected it. And Ed, I'm sorry, Ed's not going to part the sea, the Atlantic, and come over and bring cargo loads of Beyond Meat burgers and start chucking them out to the cloud and everybody's going to be eating them. That's just a pure vegan fantasy. It's over. I don't care if Bill Gates is at the Economic Forum or not. You go to the Economic Forum and people look at what you're trying to sell and they see they can't make any money off of it, they're going to tell you to go fuck yourself. They don't give a shit. And that's it. It's game over. They had a good ride. Hopefully they dumped the stock on unwitting people. They got them to buy the stock. They dumped it on them. The first investors turned around when it pumped. They probably been dumping down this stock to get out. Who is going to buy their food? Their frankenfood. That's what it's referred to. Bioengineered food is called frankenfood. Who's going to buy it? Nobody's buying it. You know what this stuff is good for? If you don't have any coasters in your house and a couple of guests show up, you pull out a few of these burgers and you throw it on the coffee table to put your drink on it. And on that note, I'm out of here.